What is right here? There is something right here. It's a crack in the table. I'm still not sure how I feel about the dark table. I'm thinking I might need to get something a little bit lighter. Everything is still a work in progress, but anyway, hello friends, how are you? I've been meaning to make a video as a follow-up to the event that happened at Apple the other day, and I had so much fun because my sister and I went up for the day. We got to go to Cupertino, we went to the Steve Jobs Theater, and going there is such an incredible experience because everything is just so beautiful. We really lucked out because the day that we went, it was supposed to be an 80% chance of rain and it didn't rain at all. It was so beautiful. Okay, so Jenna's filming for me, so I got a tire shoe. We are at the Apple event, we're all checked in. Here's our credentials. Jenna's shoe is tied. Big news. It's also really cold, like surprisingly cold. There's Saf. He's so super. Good to see you.
How's it going?
Oh my gosh, it's cold.
You came prepared.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was California. I don't need it. Sorry, by the way, for bringing the weather with me.
You do this every time.
Every single time.
Have you been to it yet?
No.
What? Oh, I'm so excited for you.
My first ever time. How cool is that?
Take it all in. Just enjoy. Do you want a picture?
I do actually.
We are outside of the Steve Jobs Theater right now. I am so excited to be here. Saf is over there getting some pictures taken. Jenna is filming for me. And we're about to head in for the event. I'm so excited to see some of my tech friends and to see what announcements they have for us today. So this time for the event, I brought a backpack that also doubles as a roller bag. So I've got my tripod, I've got all my gear, and everything fits nicely inside of here, and I don't have to put it on my back because I'm so weak. I can't ever carry everything. This is the Insta360 camera, and I have absolutely been so obsessed with this camera. Like, there's one camera that you guys need, it's this. This thing is so cool. I'll show you guys a cool shot that I'm gonna get around the theater. So right now I'm inside of the Steve Jobs Theater. I'm going to walk out and I'm going to walk around the theater very quickly here. The event is about to start. And now we're back. There were some announcements, and this was a very interesting Apple event because basically what people were calling it was a 2-hour Apple commercial for things that are not out yet. Normally, a lot of times at these events, they'll announce things and it's available immediately after or within a month, or if you're AirPower, it just basically never comes out. You just kind of brush it under the rug and act like it never happened, but we know it's there, it's somewhere. We all have high hopes that AirPower will one day make its appearance. But until then, let's talk about some of the things that they did announce. The first, starting with Apple News Plus. It's basically a subscription that gets you access to over 300 magazines, digital publications, newspapers, and all kinds of things like that. So basically taking magazines and newspapers and articles and beautifully curating them into very well-designed pieces for your iPad, iPhone, Mac, whatever. They made a mention in the keynote that if you were to subscribe to all of the outlets that you get with a $9.99 a month subscription, it would end up being like $8,000 a year or something crazy. Granted, I don't think anybody would ever actually subscribe to all of those publications. I'm kind of excited to try this out because I used to read magazines all the time and then I just kind of stopped. I'm not really sure why. I still do read Wired. That's probably one of the only magazine subscriptions that I have because my grandmother actually gets that for me as a gift, and it's so sweet because it not only reminds me of my grandma, but I get to read all the latest tech news. And that's basically the only thing that they have available is the News Plus. I haven't even signed up yet, but I'm going to right now. Try it for free. So you have to make sure that you update to the latest iOS. We've got Popular Science, Entertainment Weekly, Time, People, Vanity Fair, Wired, my only magazine subscription. That does not look like Taylor Swift. National Geographic, oh, this is exciting. And it's cool because they said that they're gonna have like animated covers. Like, look at that. Like, this is basically kind of just reinventing the way that magazines are displayed. Take a look at this. Wow. This is actually pretty neat. Okay, all right, National Geographic, I'm into it. Let me see something else, okay, let's do People magazine. Let's see what this is like. Britney Spears. So People magazine definitely isn't as well designed as National Geographic, that's for sure. Basically it's curating things that it thinks that I'm going to want to see and read. So that's Apple News Plus. I'm excited about the magazines mostly. Another cool thing is a lot of these features that they're adding, all of these different services, is they are available to your entire family. So if you do have a family plan with other people underneath of your iCloud account, they'll also have access to the subscriptions. Speaking of subscriptions, in case that wasn't enough, later on, they're gonna be coming out with something called Apple Arcade. But I think what they're trying to do is games further push the iOS development. So by having Apple Arcade, it seems like Apple is now becoming a gaming publisher, so they're gonna be funding these different games from different companies, and then you'll have access to these exclusive titles under that subscription. So this is something I think is gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Like, will there be enough games that it keeps people coming back and wanting to subscribe for more? Like, I'm not really sure how this is all gonna work, so I feel like we don't really have enough information or enough titles or enough games to really be able to see how this is all gonna play out. But I do think it's a great thing, especially for families and kids. Like, if you just wanna play a bunch of mobile games, like, you've got a subscription and endless access. Well, I guess it's not that endless because I think there's only 100 plus games right now. And I think what's been happening in this free-to-play market is, yes, a lot of these games are free to play, but to actually play them, you have to spend so much money buying supplies, buying power-ups, buying all these add-ons that by the time you get sick of playing the game, you've wasted so much money. It's insane. And I know this because I've definitely made a lot of mistakes on some of these free-to-play games, like even like Clash of Clans and then like Farmville back in the day on Facebook. Like, I spent so much money on Farmville, I'm embarrassed. I don't even, like, when I think about it, I'm disgusted. I still feel like there's a lot of details that they haven't announced about Apple Arcade, like how do developers submit their games and things like that. So that's gonna be cool to see how that all plays out, because they basically are giving a platform for indie developers to really get their games out there. And I think that is something that is so important because there's so many incredible games, but it's like, how do you get people to play them? I'm definitely excited to try that out. And then, you know, when I wanna subscribe to all of these subscriptions, I can use my brand new Apple Card. What? Apple has a credit card now? Can you even believe it? I mean, I sort of believe it, but I also don't believe it. And this was honestly one of the last things that I thought that they would have ever announced at this event. When it popped up on the screen, it was, I don't know. I didn't even know what to think. The main selling point of this credit card is the way that it integrates perfectly into Apple Pay and into your Apple Wallet. It also gives you cash back daily. A lot of credit cards, you have to accumulate points and then you can use it for other things and you have to cash them in. Well, every day, no matter what you spend, you will get cash back. So you get 2% cash back on things that aren't Apple related, 3% cash back on things that are Apple related. And I think that you get 1% if you use the actual card or places that don't accept Apple Pay. Like, look at this. This is the Apple actual credit card. This is optional because everything basically is supposed to take place on your phone. So you don't really have a credit card number, you don't really have an expiration date. So on that card itself, which by the way, is freaking titanium with your name laser etched onto it, of course. How Apple of you. Even if I don't use this credit card, like I have to get it. Like, I'm gonna have to do an unboxing of my Apple credit card. But what I do really like about this is the way that they're gonna be organizing all of your spending. A lot of times when you look at credit card transactions, they were saying that a lot of the names, you don't even know what the heck you bought half the time or where that purchase was made. Well, using Apple Maps, they're going to figure out the location, the time, the date, and then try to give you a sense of where you actually purchased something. And just by looking at some of these mock-ups, I think it's a really great idea to be able to have all of your spending tracked in this way, especially for end of the year taxes. My only concern is for me is I have a business account, so things tend to run a little bit differently, but maybe for my personal spending, this could be a really cool card to try. Something that they didn't mention in anything was what the interest rates were. So if you read into the fine print, it says that the variable APRs range from 13.24 to 24.24 based on your credit worthiness. So Credit Karma reports that the average annual percentage rate for all credit cards from banks in 2017 was 12.54, which is actually, I mean, that's lower than what this rate is, but of course that was also in 2017. So I think a rate between 13 and 24 is not that low. I mean, if you have good credit and you're on the lower side. I would love to know what you guys think of the Apple credit card. I was seeing so many people talking about this, and some people were like, this is so cool. Some people were like, this is so not cool. I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is the actual credit card itself doesn't have your credit card number on it. No signatures, no expiration dates. Like, everything basically mostly is supposed to take place on your phone. But for places that don't take Apple Pay, that's where that optional physical card comes in. It's also cool because all of the purchases are secure, so everything happens locally on your phone, not on Apple servers, which means Apple won't know what you bought, how much you've spent, and it's cool because they also use this one-time dynamic code to keep everything super secure. And obviously you need your Touch ID or your Face ID to actually make those purchases. One of the highlights though of the event obviously was the Apple TV Plus. I mean, I think this is where you guys saw all of the people talking because Oprah came came out on stage. Well, actually, they opened the whole event with a really cool, beautifully shot trailer of all of the people that they're working with, like J.J. Abrams, Steven Spielberg, Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon. They all talked about the shows that they're working on and what it's like to create and some of their passions, and it was just a really well shot video. I mean, that's one thing that Apple does right, is those promo videos look amazing. So once that video ended, it was kind of crazy because the entire theater just went completely black. And then a light just shined directly on the middle of the stage and Steven Spielberg was standing there. As I had guessed in my predictions video, I feel like it'll probably be celebrity driven. I think they'll probably have a lot of really cool people out to talk about the shows that they're working on. They did just that, but it was a really cool experience because seeing Oprah on stage, she just has this presence about her that it is just captivating. I don't care who you are. If you were in a room with Oprah, you're just gonna be like, shocked. I was actually shocked. One of the interesting things is most of the shows that they were talking about, like, they're not ready yet. I mean, they didn't really even have full trailers to show. They did have one trailer that they showed that kind of pieced together bits and pieces of the shows that they are working on. I think that this is something that is supposed to be launching in the fall. I feel like leading up to that, we'll definitely hear more. It was just so interesting because they keep calling it the platform for creative storytellers. So it feels like they're really trying to set whatever this is going to be way far away from like Netflix or Hulu or something else. We understand you're gonna be watching your Netflix, but hey, we've also got these incredible people with curated high quality content over here on Apple Plus. Also, in addition to all of this, they also talked about Apple channels. Basically, you'll be able to subscribe to individual channels, so HBO or Stars or any of the other networks that they have available. Instead of just subscribing to a whole cable package, I guess you're gonna be subscribing to iCloud, Arcade, TV, Plus. I'm not even sure, I have so many subscriptions. It's so overwhelming when I just think about it. Either way, I think that the Apple TV Plus, the streaming service, is gonna be really cool. If there's one thing that Apple does right, that is creating content. Now, I just keep thinking back to the Planet of the Apps. That was just a fluke. I don't think that is anything that we can even compare to what this is gonna be like. Seeing J.J. Abrams up there on stage, like, I think you guys understand, like, I'm a huge J.J. Abrams fan, like massive. I feel like we are so just saturated with content to be able to watch some shows that are extremely high quality and produced by really incredible people, then obviously they've got massive budgets behind. That's something that I can't wait to see because obviously, I mean, I think our YouTube content, I mean, I spend a lot of money creating my content, but it's my own money, so it's a little different than having a company come in and say, hey, we're gonna give you $1 billion. What would you do with it? I'm sitting in a room alone. I've got my birthday card, a knife, my water, chapstick, an extra microphone, one yerba mate from today, yesterday's yerba mate, the thing that I unboxed the other day, AirPods, more chapstick, oh, my iPad, oh, an SD card. I also have this incredible light mat light, which is great, and also this light here. Only the finest for you guys. Well, I just want to do a quick wrap up because I didn't get a chance to finish filming this video when I got back from the event because it was so late and I was really tired. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to bed and I'll make this video later. And then instead of doing that, I unboxed the AirPods. So if you guys haven't seen the AirPods unboxing, I'll put a link in the description and an annotation so you guys can go check that out. I'm really loving the new AirPods. Not that it makes that much of a difference because they sound, I mean, I don't think that I can even tell a difference between the old or the new, but having that charging case is so awesome. Just being able to put it on my wireless charger and just forget about it, it's pretty great. Well, that's it. I will see you guys in my next video. I look forward to filming some more fun things for you. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the event, what you'd like to see me make videos about next, and I think that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.